to walk away from the old to welcome in the new. Hello collective, it's Kai. This video is based on my own fucking damn it. Disclaimer, this is all based on my own experience. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or what works best for you. I'm just sharing. And it's about release. Releasing the old to make space so that you can welcome in the new. The newness that is unknown, the things that you don't even know were capable from the past experiences, the conditioning, the trauma, the habit, the cycle. Sometimes people say that you can't heal in the places that you were hurt. I feel like that also has its own nuances in understanding that you can address what actually hurt you from those environments in which you have felt pain. It is to show you this information so that you can understand yourself, so that you can stand up for yourself, so that you can also speak up for yourself. To say these things in such a new way, where you don't even know where this is going to lead you. Because there is no end. We don't know when we're going to die. And that's why I was reflecting and I was journaling about the hand that was extended out to me time and time again. The hands that have taught me what it's like to feel safe. That have shown me that that is a possibility, that that does exist. And then simultaneously learning that my space is safe, that no matter what happens in this world, no matter what people say or how they react to me, no matter what their behaviors tell me about them, that I can always come back home to me, no matter what. That does require taking steps with yourself to build trust, to have faith. Because faith is releasing. That is the one thing the ego wants to control. It wants to control because it wants to feel safe. That is all it's telling you from every single time that those cyclical thoughts, those negative things that you say about yourself and about other people. When in reality, nothing is ever the same, ever. Everything is constantly changing. And yes, we get triggered. Yes, there are things that feel so similar. That is what a trigger is. That this experience is reminding you of something that really fucking hurt you. That made you feel so unsafe. That your body that stored that trauma, your emotional, mental states that have felt that pain, it is so important to honor yourself. It is so important to speak up. And it is so important to walk away sometimes. This is why I say use your discernment, because I don't know what you're going through. And even if you were to tell me, I don't know what that truly feels like for you. I think that's one of the biggest things in releasing the need to understand myself is so much stronger than the want for other people to understand me. I've had to step away time and time again to learn these things. And still, sometimes I do return. I do reach out. And then simultaneously, I learn again. I learn again what is still here, what is stagnant, what is not moving. And then that teaches me, how can I be creatively choosing something entirely different than I've ever chosen before? so that I can welcome in a new experience, an experience that I desire, a desire that is tapped into the space-time continuum that I can simultaneously allow myself to experience in this very moment. That is literally what manifestation is to tap into that feeling of the frequency in this present moment, to be grateful, to appreciate, to desire. To not demonize and depress yourself just because you want something. Just because you want it doesn't mean you need it. Sometimes what you want isn't what you need. And I learned that today, what it really feels like to walk away from someone, even though I really want to welcome them. I really do. And then I had to understand also the other side of that, is that this isn't serving me. This isn't supporting me. This isn't safe for me. To expand, to evolve, to change. That is the structure. That is the stability, is the change. The foundation of safety with the self, so that I can explore this world, so that I can have faith, and I can call in courage when I notice that presence of fear, acknowledging that fear that is present. The strength that I've spent so much time building just so that I can have the courage to face my fears. To not rush the process, to not pressure myself, to not put myself down, to be at peace with not doing anything and also not saying anything. To align my actions to my words so that I can be in tune with myself. My truest core, the things that I understand about me. Because it doesn't matter what people think about you. You know why? Because it's based on their own perceptions. It's based on their own perceptions, their own senses of you. What they could be creating in their minds, who knows? Unless you ask. Unless you even want to ask. Because sometimes we don't even want to know. Truly, we don't want to know. That is also another thing. To be open to the perceptions of people. To not project my own stories and narratives onto them just because they perceive me differently. Same thing. When someone's providing support, it's going to come in all these different ways. All of these various ways, because that is how they show up for them. That is how they support them. So when they see me clearly and they show me support that aligns with me, even if it's different than how they show up for themselves, that's when I really feel like they see me as a person, not as this fucking image that is painted in our minds, because our ego is so intelligent that it remembers these things from the past. But the past is the past. The past is literally that. It's just information. It does not hold you down. It does not push you away from your potentiality. As long as you allow it to be let go. That is probably one of the biggest lessons that I have learned, is to release the past and to not project the pain and to actually be present with my pain so that I can understand myself, so that I can speak my boundaries to people. That this hurts me. To say my boundaries, and also to learn that sometimes people do not have the space to make that choice. Who am I to demand someone to change? True change is only accessed through the core choice that is made from the respective person. That is what makes it so evolutionary, is when they actually choose to change for themselves. Simultaneously, by making that choice, you change for the collective consciousness, because we are all connected. That is why we are not so different than the person that sits next to you. And then at the same time, we live our realities. Sonder, that is how I allow the solitude to show me me, how I treat me, how I speak to me. It shows me, despite me speaking things that I honestly sometimes may even see very clearly that I'm straying away from me. The same aspect of people pleasing, where you're straying so far away from yourself that you're literally disregarding your needs and your own desires, your own passion, your own drive, your own direction. Because you're moving towards this person. You're so focused on them. And then when you make space and you step away and you find this clarity despite the grief where that love for them is being released. Because to let go, even when you know that you don't want to let go, even though you know you need to let go, that is still so fucking valid. It's still so present. And it's so crazy. Because two things that may be opposing are living simultaneously in this moment. Life is so abundant. Life is so worth living. And I've spent these past 2 years really experiencing that. What it feels like on both ends of the spectrum. And I sense that fear is present. This fear that I'm so familiar with. And I'm like, if I keep making the same choice, then I will keep regretting making that choice. So how can I move differently? There was someone in my life who showed me the light of extending your speech, extending your hand in the communications that we partake in when it comes to technology. To share these things with people and still discern. Because if I keep speaking to this person, then I'm truly going to deplete my energy. And I'm recalling my power. I'm remembering it. To drink from your own cup of fulfillment. That is what the cup suit in tarot means, is your emotions. Your satisfaction. Your sweetness. Every single thing that you've been swimming through. To not resist the change that is so fucking inevitable within you. Because you're an infinite being. You are infinitely possible. You have never been seen or done before. That is how the special uniqueness is honored, by making this choice that aligns with you and your core. When we soften, when we choose to evolve through love. Because fear is not going to do that. Fear is going to show you how you can challenge yourself, how you can face yourself, how you can see yourself more clearly, how you maybe forsook yourself in the past. It comes in all of these forms, and sometimes it's really fragile, and it needs you to be soft, to be receptive, to embrace yourself, to just sit with yourself, to not even do anything, to just sit with yourself. And it's such this soft voice sometimes that is telling me, you got this, you're doing it. You're capable. You can choose differently. You are so different now than you have ever known before. And things have changed, and you've come so far, and you're going to go wherever you want, wherever you desire, whatever you align with. Universe literally responds to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. Even when I let go, I'm still so grateful, because this is teaching me once more, how I used to feel so bad for doing things that hurt people, for playing this villain in another person's story. It's a story. And if they keep telling themselves this, and then I interact with them, and I welcome that into my own space, that is why my space is so sacred. That is why I too still share things. It is still this dichotomy of life, when in reality, it's not that different. I'm remembering who I am. That is what healing also is remembering yourself, respecting yourself. To transform in this truth, to balance my own life, to step more into my femininity, to allow myself to soften, to be receptive, to dream, to see something different with my eyes closed. It is not just this physical aspect of life that interacts with me. It is every single sound and frequency and soul. And it's beautiful. The grief is beautiful. The fear is beautiful. The anger is beautiful. The happiness is beautiful. And the love is beautiful. And this peace that I feel from making this choice for myself is so strange. Because it's not like a walking away from someone just because my emotions are so elevated, where you get so upset where you're like, oh, I'm just gonna cut them off. I'm done. It's so different. I was like, this isn't personal. I'm not here to attack this person. But I also don't want to project this pain onto them anymore. I don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. And though it sucks to have this space, I had to recognize that this will keep repeating, because despite me taking space in the past and then coming back, I forsake a part of myself by doing so, because I don't have the space for this anymore. I want to welcome in more of me that aligns with my soul. And this isn't supporting that anymore. And it's so crazy, because I've never truly experienced this, where it's really respecting my boundaries, but it's also it's just so succinct in every single step that I take. And simultaneously, I release that attachment to them. And when you're walking away from them, but not to such an extent where you're oh, I very strongly dislike you. No, it's just that we don't align. To me, I don't align with this person. And that's just what it is. Even though I do care. I care a lot about myself too. And if this is going to continue to hurt me, then I have to make a different choice, because this is just not it. And it's so strange because it's like I will still see them, you know? And it's still respecting it, the space. It's respecting the space that I've chosen to give myself. Because I don't know how else to describe it. It's just strange. It's new. It's so different than what I was used to in the past. And that's where the creativity came in. I was like, oh my God, I've been showing up for myself so much in every single interaction as much as I can to the best of my abilities. And I'm building this skill to speak up. The skill to speak up. So that I'm not saying shit that I will regret. Because I know that part of myself very well. Because I've done it so many times. And then there's this other aspect of understanding that I was very afraid of that part of me coming up again. And it surprises me when I'm so receptive and so open and so vocal and yet so silent. Because I'm not sharing these things that really matter to me. And then still simultaneously taking my time and not rushing the process that's unfolding naturally. I don't have to share everything. I hope this makes sense. I really hope that this supports you on this journey. Because I'm acknowledging a lot of things during this time. And I'm a little bit overthinking about sharing this part of me and yada yada yada, and I'm like, honestly, it hasn't even happened yet. These people haven't, been here yet. So I'm like, literally anything can fucking happen. I'm like, anything is possible. And that's how I allow myself to shine light naturally. My own light, not the light that people witness from me or feel from me, because that's their own experience, honestly. Sometimes it's so beyond me. I'm like, cool. And then other times I'm like, wow, I really feel seen as my own person. Who I am to me as much as who I am to others is just as valid. And then at the same time, it's like, am I going to plug myself into that narrative? Because if it's something that supports my growth and evolution through love, then I may. But it's also to not attach to that and still allow myself to sense me, to experience me, to not lose myself. I wonder what I'm gonna title this video. Probably the first sentence that I said, which I already fucking forgot. Thanks for listening, guys. I really I just pray that you feel the love and you feel the support and you know that you're capable and you build this capacity to have trust in your own choices and to have faith in whatever unfolds in life. Because I know that fear sometimes comes up. It feels. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, truly. And thank you for being alive. Seriously. And I send you guys so much love and support on your own spiritual journey. Bye, collective.